Distinguished ministers from the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, colleagues in the cabinet, it's a great pleasure to be here in your country today. Distinguished colleagues from Liberia, the chair of board of TRANSCO CLSG management, our own Mohammed, who is a Liberian leading this significant development. Let's give it up. Great things are coming out of Liberia. Officials of CIE, AREC, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day today. Merci à tous. Nous sommes très heureux d'être ici pour signer un contrat de service de transport très important pour notre pays de Liberia et pour la région de l'Union du fleuve Mano. Je vous apporte une bonne appréciation et bonne félicitation du président de la République de Liberia, son Excellence, Dr. George Weah, et de la peuple de Liberia. Maintenant, je vous demande sincèrement de me permettre à continuer mon parole dans l'anglais. Thank you very much. But today it's a wonderful day for the Mano River Union region, for our 4 countries, for TRANSCO. We just witnessed the signing of the TSA by TRANSCO CLSG and Honorable Monique Captain, our distinguished new managing director. Let's give it up to Monique Captain. He's turning the Liberia Electricity Corporation around. It's coming from a very challenging context. And he was appointed by the President, His Excellency Dr. George to make LEC viable commercially and as viable as CIE. So even bigger than CIE. Thank you, Monique, for thank all of us here for this wonderful thing. Look, the big thanks go to the government and the people of Liberia, led by His Excellency Dr. George Weah. When the President took over, I think this project was around 18-20%. He saw it through all the way to where we are today. Significant support. He's maintained close working relationship with His Excellency, the President Ouattara here in Côte d'Ivoire. They're always in constant communication, and the President remains especially grateful to the people of Côte d'Ivoire for their understanding. We know we had some long-standing obligations that you've been patient with the government, people of Liberia, but we're now on a track to sustainability going forward. So hats off to your President, to you, CIE, for all of the work and the cooperation that we have enjoyed over time. Let me thank also the governance framework of CLSG, of TRANSCO, the board, and the 4 ministers of mines, ministers of energy, and of course the ministers of finance for sustaining this framework. Thanks also to all of our development partners for availing this framework in cooperation with our countries. That's the World Bank, the African Development Bank, KfW, and the European Investment Bank. What we now have is a framework to market energy. This is a practical realization of regional integration in the true sense of the word. If Africa is going to come together, if Africans are going to work together, it is true modalities like these. These are more important than even some of the political ones, because once we're able to trade, it has significant ramifications for our industrial development and for our economic growth. So today, what we see here symbolically is a signing, but it says that this is signaling the operationalization, that there is a market in the region. And if there is a market in the region, that signal is positive for long-term growth. Africa has significant infrastructure challenges. The gap to finance and close our infrastructure gap, financing requirements is huge, somewhere around $200 billion a year. In this region, we have a fraction of that, significant cost. But once you have this kind of market existing today, what countries in the region are beginning to do now is to move fast, to invest so that they can leverage the market. The fact that we are today going to be receiving electricity from Côte d'Ivoire, to support our energy deficit is a good thing. But tomorrow, Liberia will also want to be on the supply side. You know, and so what we see here in countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, are a move towards serious investment. We have a run-of-the-river hydro, and the government is in serious discussion now with the World Bank and the African Development Bank. Potentially, we are going to, the president has designated the vice president of Liberia to go to the African Investment Forum and make the case for Liberia so that we transform the VIA project into a viable one that could potentially generate as much as 500 megawatts. That's the future. So the energy future in West Africa is going to be residing in Liberia. But for right now, we are stuck our position. But it's a great day here today for the people of Liberia who are going to depend on this in the next dry season coming. We know how difficult the last dry season was. It was tough when the river was dark. It was political pressure. Now what we have now is we'll be able to move 27 megawatts. So I tell you a story. There was huge pressure on the government about electricity, and we had to put up a huge cost for about a month last season. So I had to go on radio, the president sent me on radio, I had to go and appeal to the people that, look, it doesn't make sense to spend $50 million right now for 2 months when you were coming to the rainy season. So we appealed for more time. By that time, we will conclude all modalities with TRANSCO and our foreign brothers. Next year, we will be able to move 27. And the population accepted that appeal. So today, they are listening that we are signing so that this 27 can fill the energy gap. TRANSCO, what that means is that no outage and no line must drop because we don't want to go on radio and say there was an outage because the line came down from Côte d'Ivoire, but we trust the reliability.
We can assure you, Mr. Minister, there will be no outage. Once the minister is sure that we are stable on the other side.
And that's the point we're coming to. Yeah. You see this guy reading my mind. So we are committed to maintaining the sustainability of this. Under the direction of the president and the national legislature, we have made the budgetary appropriation for this. We are spending vast sums of money between this current budget and the next budget to ensure that this is viable. So financially, there's LEC and TRANSCO and some of our people have moved down to secure an arrangement where monies will be moving. So money is not going to be the problem here, Mohammed. If there's any problem, it's going to be the technical thing, and we pray no technical issue there. So the Liberian people can rest assured that we're working very hard. We're not going to be 100%. We're working very hard to close the deficit in the next one. It's not going to be anywhere it was last dry season, I can say. I can't say 100% there's not going to be a small issue. So I leave that little room to maneuver and go back to the people. They're listening, so I'm very clear. But this is a wonderful day. It's great. It's an example of the partnership that can happen in Africa when African peoples work together, when they stand together to move the frontiers of our economies. Thank you very much. Merci à tous.